Chapter 4 Conversion Runner. Christian walked home after the club meeting with his head low to the ground. He was already in low spirits on his way to the club, and he was in even lower spirits on his way back from it. His heart was mortified by the things he had seen. Nolan spoke of esoteric ideas, such as the idea that there could be more than two genders, or that there are those who can be one gender one moment and another gender the next. These thoughts disgusted him. Sex was meant to be simple, pure, and for the sole purpose of procreation. But these people corrupted and twisted the act into something perverted and I can't say this word, decadent. Already the speech put weird thoughts into Christian's head. He was worried about his tainted soul, and he was worried for Tyler's soul. If that was a pre-induction meeting, he could only imagine what happened between closed doors and among fully indoctrinated members. What twisted rituals did they perform? What horrendous acts did they display? Christian's mind exploded, and he collapsed to his knees on the sidewalk. He held the sides of his head as if he could squeeze the thoughts out, but he couldn't. He could feel that familiar serpent's tongue licking at his brain, trying to make him falter. "Not now, Satan!" Christian yelled. "Not now!" It was the day before Halloween, the Halloween dance, and the school was brimming with excitement. But to Christian, all he saw around him were wayward souls. He bumped into a bubbly couple on his way, and because he was staring at his shoes. "Hey, watch where you're going, conservative," the boyfriend said. "Austin, you're so smooth with your words," the girlfriend said. "Shut up, babe, I know it." Sorry, Christian mumbled. The man grabbed Christian by the cuff of his collar. "What was that, white boy? You oppressing me over here? Do I need to get you the list of deplorables?" Christian felt energyless. "Don't be so rough on him, Austin. I bet he's still a virgin." Christian knew he shouldn't fight back. He had to take the ridicule. He had known ever since he had accepted the truth that people would fear it and persecute him for it. No, Christian thought. He couldn't fight back physically, but he could fight back with his words, with reason. All the hearts and minds of students were clouded like his once was, but he could change them. He thought back to John's plan of Socratic debate. It was merely intended for the club, but if he could get the debate in front of a large group of people... The dance. If Christian could somehow turn the dance into a large public debate, he could win the students over to his side. He knew if he could get around the censorship, he would have the advantage because reason was on his side. But then it dawned on him again. He was at a major disadvantage. The people he was fighting against had immense power, and they could take him out so fast he wouldn't even see it coming. Just like with Chase. He couldn't even challenge these people. They may kill him, or even worse, they could try and corrupt him, sacrifice him in the name of the pagan demons, or sexually abuse him. He didn't know what these boys were capable of. But even if it was futile, he had to try, for with God, all things are possible. "Austin," Christian said. "What is it, little boy? Your sky daddy not here to protect you?" Did you know that they've never found the missing link between humans and monkeys?" Christian said. Yeah, they have. Duh. Dork. It's called Lucy." Austin and his girlfriend laughed, but Christian held his ground. "But what about the link between Lucy and monkeys?" That would be Artie, aka Artithripus ramidus, dumbass." "But what about the transitional form between that?" Austin scratched his chin. "Well, I'll give you that. I may not personally know the answer to that one, but I do trust the scientific system that has consistently challenged and affirmed the theory of evolution for almost 200 years, and I know that there is likely a fossil out there somewhere, and even if one wasn't discovered, I know that the theory has repetitively shown to create reliably testable hypotheses that are so sound that a single issue such as a missing transitional form wouldn't be enough to topple the theory, as we have many other examples of transitional forms and numerous other points of evidence that all points come to the same conclusion." "So what you're saying is that you have faith in science?" Austin's eyes went wide with shock. and he gasped. He fell to his knees. "Oh my God," Austin said. "Oh my God!" Austin looked around like he was trying to find a way to escape the situation, but Christian stepped in front of him. God's warrior looked to Austin's girlfriend. "Admit it. You knew God exists, but you pretended to believe in evolution because you wanted to sin, didn't you?" Austin started weeping and nodded his head. "I've been so wrong," Austin said. "All my life. I have to tell everyone about this." Austin got to his feet and ran down the hall. "Everyone!" he yelled. "Everyone!" Then he suddenly stopped. "Ugh!" the boy muttered. A shining orange blade had pierced his abdomen. A hole split through his body, deep enough that the bumpy red tubes that make up his small intestine began spilling out, a waterfall of blood. Austin turned around to Christian, his eyes no longer full of tears, but dripping with his crimson life force. Pus poured from his mouth as he choked on his own failing organs. From the other side of the boy's body could be made out of one of the magical boys, the very magical boy that had killed Young Republicans Club president, John Smith. Jacob. Jacob smirked. He made eye contact with Christian, and without breaking it, he leaned into Austin's ear and licked it. He grabbed the boy's chin and brought him in for a kiss. Christian was mortified as blood was exchanged between the two boys' throats. Austin's body became pale as he lost all of his vital fluids. Jacob caressed the young boy's dying body. Once the last of his energy had left him, Jacob let go. Austin collapsed to the floor, a shriveled, gray, bloody mess. Jacob wiped his mouth and licked his lips. He looked to Christian, smiled, and turned away,